It's a Wales through a goal, slots it beyond Fodringer, and the Millers are in front in the South Yorkshire derby. And for the first time in 42 years, Rotherham United win at Bramall Lane. On the edge of the box, a Duffy, he can hit them, and he does. The Dolphin has scored an absolute screamer for Rotherham United. Rotherham United have secured their championship status for next season.
Do me a favour, drop me off in Rotherham.
Hey everybody, welcome back to New York Talk. This is the Rotherham United podcast. Thank you all for rejoining us. It is another defeat, obviously, to talk about. This time, Watford somehow took away 3 points. We'll talk about the performances, the players, and we've also got another game to talk about. We're only going to Ipswich, so don't worry about it. Another easy win. Mick, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, I can feel the resignation in your voice already.
Yeah.
Lewis is back for a while. First time. How are you doing, Lewis?
Yeah, not bad, thanks, chaps. Thanks. I'm glad to be back on. I don't think I've missed much since last time I come on, to be honest.
No,
I don't think there's been a winless since last time I came on a couple of months ago.
no,
So.
I think you're probably right.
But you're to blame.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, everyone.
I think Kev's back. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good mate. I feel really good. I couldn't be asked to go yesterday, so I have actually a good weekend.
Brilliant. Love it. We're going to start as we always do in this part, especially this season, is try and find something funny or happy or laughing that you made that from yesterday. If you don't have anything, that's fine. I've got some ones from Twitter, Mick, to give you a second to think.
Good.
So I'll give you time. So we've got Hancock of the Aristonian friend said he laughed when Rathbone was named man of the match. Sounds harsh, but fair. Chris says Kyoso playing on despite Richardson trying to take him off, considering it would have been the perfect way to avoid playing since he supposedly refused to play.
Yeah.
Harry says at half time the sprinklers came on and Cafu got absolutely soaked and apparently shouted at the ground staff. Made him laugh. Mine's Cam Humphries, Meg's in their player in the first half. Nothing else happening interesting in the game, but when Cam Humphries, Meg's their player, that tickled me. Yeah, Mick, anything?
I think the funniest moment for me was Peter Kyoso doing caterpillar on floor and headbutting somebody's foot and getting a free kick for it. Well, that was the funniest moment of the game for me.
Okay, fair enough. Anything, Lewis?
I quite liked Tom Ince's cameo performance when he came on.
Okay.
And he did just bugger all for once against us. And particularly that shot from 20-odd yards out that nearly went over the ground. But that was quite good.
Still going, that one, I think. Kev, you didn't go to the game, but did you do anything on Saturday that was more positive than watching us?
Yeah, loads better actually. Well, I think I could have done anything that would have been better than watching us. But I actually had a walk into Barnsley, watched Tom Walker perform free of charge in Glassworks, had a Dolly's desserts, a couple of cocktails, and a takeaway last night. So pretty decent.
Sounds like a good Saturday. Sounds like a lovely Saturday. A few people in the comments. Steve Grundy asked, will we ever win? Well, probably not. Martin Holland, Gary Milne, Michael Oates, Sarah Ogden. There's loads with us tonight. Thank you all for being with us, as Nicola Drew. Mick, let's just start the game, because that game yesterday was one of the worst games of the season. And there's competition, to be fair, this season. We mentioned on the instant reaction that it was two teams that were obviously bang out of form, clearly both bang out of form. Just a bad game of football, all in all.
Yeah, it was. It was two really, really poor sides. Two sides lacking in any sort of confidence whatsoever, I think is probably a better way of describing it. Nobody really wanted to win, did they? Nobody wanted to lose. It was dour, really. It was really dour. And I know they beat us. They beat us with a wonder strike, but they are certainly on that performance the worst visitors to New York Stadium this season by some distance, and that takes some beating when you consider how bad Bristol City were and always are when they come to us. They still seem to beat us, but it was really, really difficult to take anything from that game at all. It wasn't even, well, apart from the defeat, which weren't that difficult to take, to be honest. Not after Tuesday night. it was almost expected, I think. So yeah, disappointing, very, very disappointing.
Yeah, Richard Brown comes to find the positive though. Must be saving a fortune on win bonuses.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Lewis, just general thoughts. So it's one of those that I don't think we played badly, but I wouldn't say we played well. It was just a kind of a nothing performance from both teams, to be fair. But it was a kind of nothing performance where we didn't do out too badly, but we certainly didn't do anything that good, I don't think.
Yeah, I got to half time. I thought this has been okay. We're not doing anything particularly wrong, but we're not doing anything particularly good either. Nothing. That's same for Watford as well. I'm looking at table. I can't believe they're 11th in league after what they played like yesterday. We'll go on to goal in a bit, but that Esprit was the only quality player on the pitch yesterday. They came up with the moment that won it. But yeah, it's just very apathetic into it. And how many games are left now? 13, is it?
Too many.
Yeah, too many. About 13 too many.
Yeah. We've played 32, I think now. Is it 32? Yeah, 32 we've played. 33 on Tuesday. So 14 left.
Soon be there.
Still got a chance.
Yeah. The problem is, Kevin, I don't get it, but if we're not going to beat Watford when they're in the form they're in, when are we going to win another game this season? And that's my real worry. We are very positive, often the Happy Club podcast. But I couldn't say to you, we're going to pick up a couple of points or 3 points then or this game. I can't really see where the next points are coming from.
No, I said it in the beginning of January. I looked at fixtures. I think I read them out today, didn't I? And I said we will not pick another win up. And I don't think we'll pick a point up. And I'm right so far. It's not going to come. Well, hopefully Sheffield Wednesday at home. That's the only one I want to win now. I want to lose against Huddersfield and Millwall, obviously, and QPR. Beat Wednesdays, and then we'll be all right. Well, as long as we take them down with us, I really don't care anymore. Season's long over. It's been over months. We all know that. It's actually getting to the point now where it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? It's really...
Yeah, it is. It's not good. Nick says, is it just me that thought we did okay compared to recent weeks, Mick? And I think he's right, but that's the kind of level that we've got to, that okay is an improvement. And that's a really sad state of affairs, that a game where you've just gone, we did all right, is a step up.
Yeah, we did do all right. We just had nothing going forward, nothing at all. Defensively, we weren't too bad. We weren't great, but we weren't too bad. And that was the only way they were going to score with a freak goal. And it was a bit of a freak for me, in my view. We'll talk about it in a bit, like you said. But other than that, they weren't scoring. There was nothing going to happen in that game at all. So yeah, I don't know. It weren't bad. Yeah, the performance wasn't bad. Just it wasn't anywhere near the level it needs to be able to take anything from teams in this division.
No.
Yeah, it's just the frustration thing is, Lewis. I think I said that, maybe not on the instant reaction, but certainly to Mick yesterday, that any other team in the league beats Watford yesterday. Basically, any other team, with the way that Watford played, they would have won that game. That game was there for the taking. It just needed a couple of players to stand up and take charge of the game, and you would have won that game. And that's just a sign of where we are, that we haven't got anybody. We've got some good footballers, but nobody's sort of willing or can stand up and just kind of take charge of the game. And that's obviously why we're not winning the games.
Yes, I think the centre midfield backwards, I think all defence, Victor, were good again. Although we didn't have much to do. Everything in the defensive half of the pitch were quite solid, but obviously they weren't tested too much. But like Mick said, going forward, there was just nothing. Even with the scrambles on the line, you just had no confidence at all that it would either drop for us, or if it did, they will find a way in. They're just very frustrating, but predictable, isn't it? And
Yeah, it was. And it was a game that was picked up by one moment of quality. Kevin shooting the goal, Spurrier's goal. Do you think there's anything better we could? The strike itself's a wonder strike, but do you feel like could we have defended the set piece better, or was it just one of those things?
Yeah, we could have. We always could. I mean, I think we did have 2 chances to clear it. They were a bit lucky, a bit fortunate with the break it came out to him. And it were a fantastic strike, and it like mixes it. We're going to take something like that, but just story of our season, isn't it? I don't recall us ever having any bit of luck or any rub at green like the other two penalty decisions or all sorts. We never get that lucky break, and we all joke about Chris Wilder messing about saying about referees and not getting that. They were told that they wouldn't get any decision. It almost feels like Déjà. It's almost it feels the same for us.
Yeah.
There were a few instances yesterday. I did watch the highlights. I did have friends texting during the game saying they actually weirdly said we played well first half. Obviously, listening to you guys, I don't think we did. So, I'm a bit confused. But I watched the highlights. I did watch it back a bit, and we've got nothing going forward. But obviously, we were saying at the game the other day against Hull. We were crying out for that second goal, and whenever it was still 1-0, I knew we were going to lose. And we just picked the ball up midfield because they've got no confidence in the attack. All they did was turn around and pass it back to defence, and it's just we have a throw in their half, and we throw it back to Victor. There's no confidence in the attack, and we make changes and weaken as team. Any other team make changes and strengthen it, and we're just going backwards.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I absolutely are. Nick says, I thought we did okay, got in their faces better, just didn't create anything. I suppose, Mick, the press was in parts, but it was in parts. But yeah, I suppose I can be about it. Again, we didn't play badly, but we didn't do anywhere near enough to win the game.
No, we didn't, and that kind of sums it up. Really, that kind of sums the performance up. We did okay in what we needed to do in every department, with the exception of getting the ball in the box and putting it back at net. We didn't do any of that. We were, like Kev said there, so many times. The ball gets to halfway line and we come back again. Now, that's possibly because the movement ahead of the midfield is not good enough. But whatever it is, it feels like and it looks like a bit of a lack of ambition, or maybe it is confidence. I don't know, but it's just going forward. We're not going forward at all, and every time we get the opportunity to do so, we seem to turn back, and it's really frustrating. Really frustrating.
Harry says, evening, a bit late. I think I'm in the minority that thought we weren't that bad and it was an entertaining game. I think you're in the minority about being an entertaining game, Harry. I don't think we were bad, but it was dull. It was pretty dull. Shelley wants to know, ref ran. Last few games, we've had absolutely nothing from the referee. They've had every decision. He says Stonewall penalty on Rinomota, Lewis. I would also say it should have been a Stonewall penalty on Kyoso as well in the first half as well. The Kyoso was even more frustrating because 5 minutes earlier, the referee gave a foul on Teehee where Teehee put his head down and got kicked in the head. I didn't think that was a foul, but the Kyoso one wasn't. We could have had 2 penalties easily for me.
It's just the same conversation about consistency again, isn't it? There's just if it's in the box, it's somehow not a foul, even though it would be 2 yards further back. It's just I'm just bored. I'm just bored of it now. It's just the same thing with us. We just don't get penalties, do we? We've not had one this season yet, have we? I don't think.
No.
Not like it would have made a great deal of difference anyway, would it? But it's just the consistency conversation again. That they're just changing rules from 1 week to another, aren't they? And it's can't help.
Yeah, the Rinomota one, Kevin. I don't think the Rinomota one in the second half. It's a penalty, and it's quite strange. I don't really understand why he's not given that. Rinomoto's not even looking at the man. He's got eyes on the ball, and he's just been sort of cleaned out. That one is a stone waller for me.
Yeah, like Lewis said, anywhere else on that pitch, it's a free kick. So why if it's in box, it's not? But I think the Kyoso one as well. He did take a kick and he went down. But all right, I think they're setting us up now. These EFL now, because Bobby Madley got 4th official yesterday.
Yeah,
but it's not bad enough sending us some numpty to referee and linesman as well, just to rub it in. Give us Bobby Madley when he's not reffing us. It's either him or his brother.
His dad just screwed us over a week ago.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But we don't get anything. We never get rub at green on that. We never get any decisions. I don't think it's a big club, small club thing. It's just as luck. We've just got no luck at all.
Yeah. I'll spoiler alert. It's Keith Stroud on Tuesday at Ipswich. Enemies missed that. So it don't get any better, I'm afraid. Right, let's talk about some performances, Mick. Let's talk about the strikers. We talked about the lack of opportunities and striker performances. On Tuesday, I thought Nombe and White were good. I thought they linked it well together. The parts of the game, they obviously they're certainly tired. I thought they were really good on Tuesday. I thought they just looked, I don't know whether they were knackered or what, but they were not in the game at all. I thought Wyke looked a bit of a shadow of himself from Tuesday night, to be honest with you. I thought they really struggled together on Saturday.
Yeah, Wyke was. I thought Nombe was all right. He showed a lot of pace. He got in behind again. But unfortunately, when he's getting in behind down the channels, there's nobody in the box to receive the ball. So I don't think Nombe had a bad game at all. I understand, obviously, that he's the current scapegoat, so I'll be careful what I said. But yeah, he was all right. But he didn't get any service. It's all right, you know. It's all right giving Wyke and Nombe the service when they're in between the halfway line and the 18-yard box. They don't need it there. You know, they need it in the box. They need the ball in the box. And you know, we're just not getting it. We're just not getting it in there at all. So, I thought Wyke struggled a little bit, to be honest, as you said, but I thought Nombe was all right. No problem with that.
Yeah. Obviously, he feels bad for Nombe because he gets absolutely no service and gets the blame.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Moving midfield a bit, I think somebody does come on for a bit of praise, Lewis, is Rinamota. I think it was really, really good with a positive positive performance. Strange he's not played for the last 2 games based on that performance alone. I thought it was good against Leeds when he came on as sub as well. I think Rinamota is probably, for me, he's got to start going forward, assuming that's the kind of performance we're going to get.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about him when we signed him because I didn't think he'd really improve us. But considering the standard there has been around rest of pitches, he's made a little bit of improvement. But yeah, he put himself about and he were active, weren't he? He were one of our better players, I think, which doesn't say much, but. Yeah, sorry. Back to Nombe. I thought when I watched him a couple of times, he made some really good runs, but just no one's seen him. And it's just if he had Barlassa still in there, he might have got 2 or 3 good chances. But like Nick said earlier, it's just you're getting in a decent position in midfield and you're just going backwards all the time, which is again is a confidence thing, I think.
Yeah, it is, I agree. Nathan Coventry says Ferguson's 2 crosses were the highlight of the game. It was finally nice to see some quality balls into the boxes. I miss Fergie. There's good players in the Kev. To be fair, let's sort of make an excuse for ourselves. If Shane Ferguson's fit more often, if Cameron Frizz is fit more often, maybe even Tyler Blackett, we're probably a team that's going to go down, but we won't be anywhere near as badly off as well. We've missed key players and we've not replaced the key players. We haven't brought in like for like for Shane Ferguson in transfers, have we? And that's what really hurt us.
Yeah, I do like Ferguson. I think I don't know if he's out of contracted somewhere or not. I'm sure. I think is he right?
Yeah.
He could have been a big player in the league. I personally don't think he's championship level. I think he'd have had a stinker a season if he weren't injured. But it did show a couple of bits of quality yesterday, which we have missed. We have missed that. But yeah, you're right. We're not like Lewis just said. We missed Barlassa so much. Just someone. I mean, when we signed Caffel, I thought he was going to be that little spark of creativity. And he did. It did show signs on Tuesday when he came on against Hull. To be fair, he had a couple of nice balls he played out, but that's all we're missing. I like mixes. I feel for Nombe. He's getting a bit of run first. I know I'm Hugo's biggest criticiser, and I can't stand the bloke at all on that pitch. I think he's terrible for us. I'd never play him again. But Nombe, I think, has been unfairly. He's tried. He's making all the right runs, but he's not getting the passes. Against Hull on Tuesday night, he literally ran that much. I don't think he could walk at the end of the game. He tried so hard, and it'll be a big play for us next year. But that's if fans don't drive him out. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true. John Morel says Shane Ferguson. My God, is he still playing? Yeah. We missed his set piece, but I think you're right in terms of overall championship quality. He is not there, but we missed that left foot because nobody else is quite as good as that in open play. Lucas is a good set piece, but in open play is an issue. Ryan Tom says Rinamota is Ben Wiles' replacement. We've been craving out for. Has it run the games? I don't think he's quite as creative as Wiles he was. Time will tell, I suppose. Struggling to find any more positive anything to talk about. It was that bad a game. I'm struggling for stuff to talk about. Let's go back a bit to the pre-game because obviously the pre-match press conference was after we recorded. It was done on Friday, but obviously we recorded on Thursday. The talking point is something we all knew was an issue, and that's the training ground being out of service.
Yeah.
The weather hasn't been that bad recently. there's been a bit of rain here and there, but it's not been that bad. We've not been inundated with snow and pouring down rain. And it's really obvious that they're having to play on the pitch at them, train on the pitch, because the pitch is the worst it's ever looked. I don't remember ever looking this bad.
No.
And if Liam Richardson strikes to me as a coach who's very good on the training field. And if he's not getting on the training field, well, this is part of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, we're in the Championship. I'm going to say we're a Championship football club. We're in the Championship, and the training ground is out of order. I mean, let that sink in for a second.
Just say it again.
I find it quite embarrassing to say it, to be honest with you. It's Ken Booth era kind of behaviour. Behaviour is not the right word, but a set of circumstances. It's amateurish beyond belief that we can allow that to happen. And I understand that it's not ours and all that, but with I don't know what to say about it. It's really poor, really, really poor, and just that's it, isn't it? Where else can you go with that? It's bizarre, absolutely bizarre. But how are you supposed to prep for a game? You know, how are you supposed to get mentally right? I don't understand. I don't understand why it's been allowed to get to that state, or why we've been allowed to get into this situation. It's really amateurish, really, but probably why we are where we are.
Yeah. Well,
in fact,
part of it. When we spoke, Matt Tiller came on this podcast in the summer, Lewis, and said he talked to us specifically about the training ground. He put the injuries down, the muscle injuries last season was partially down to the training ground, being a softer pitch or whatever compared to New York Stadium. So there was an issue. There was an issue with the training pitch. Well, it's just under a year later, and the training pitch is still an issue. There's still a problem there.
Yeah,
didn't they say in the summer that they were spending money on doing it up? Which
apparently so. I think, from what I understand, they've put them into the actual New York pitch, which again now looks worse. Which now has a knock-on effect because of the training ground being out of order.
Yeah, it's just a comedy of errors, isn't it? From top to bottom, it's most teams in League Two will have better training facilities than us. Yeah. It's just embarrassing.
Most teams in National League will have better training.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's one of the givens you expect of a club to have an okay training ground that you can at least use. Yeah, that you can at least use every day, which we don't seem to have for some insane reason. It's not good enough, and it can't. Obviously, we've been crap all season, haven't we? But that can't contribute to morale in the squad when you're not being able to train properly every day. It's obviously won't help Richardson or Taylor before him anyway either.
Yeah, if you will, Nick says never seen the pitch in that condition. The New York Stadium pitch. Yeah, that was supposed to. I don't know how much money was spent on pitch in summer, but again, it looks poor when it's always been a beautiful pitch. Yeah. Darren Cook says Porter Gabbins and really been at ice baths. It's disgraceful in reference to the training ground. The thing is, if this has just suddenly happened, we've moved into a new place because of X, Y, and Z, and there's issues. You can excuse it a little bit. We've been here for whatever it's been, 10 plus years, or whatever it's been. I remember when we built the structure that's there, that came out of the transfer budget. Paul once sort of talked about. Yeah. So it just seems the basic. It just seems that a stage one of football club, right? Have an okay training facility, and then move from there. I remember when we were talking about the Brinsworth site, which a few people are mentioning here. It was a state of the art facility, and then we are still here. Yeah.
No, you're right, and it has been years. It is literally what? Well, when we first went up to Championship with Paul Warren, it goes back to that day when he went to Sonny's show and said, right, look, this is what we need. And someone put there we joke about pot cabs and wheelie bins, but that's what happened. He asked for ice baths and got wheelie bins full of ice. And you think, first season Championship, we'll build on that. Yeah, we went down, but we got the money, went back up again. It's going to be different this year. And 7 years later, not one thing's changed. And this is the reason, the mind blaming Matt Taylor on him for the reason we're in this mess. That that training facility is the reason, because who's going to want to sign for us? How can we get a prospect signing, bring him to our training facility, say, this is what you're going to work in with, lads? It'd run a mile. It'd be like, nah, I'm all right. I'm not bothered. Why do I want to get changed in a used porter cabin and then have a dip in a chuffing wheelie bin? I'm all right.
Yeah. A few people asking what's happened to the site in Tinsley, the Brinsworth site. I'll be honest with you, I've done absolutely no idea.
I think there's some issues with planning permission and stuff in there with it. I don't think it's. I'm not sure, but I had read somewhere a long time ago that there were issues with the either with the ground or with the planning, or some issues that meant it was never gonna happen down there. So whether that's changed or not, I don't know, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, obviously not.
Well, obviously not. Yeah. John Russell says, can't be a professional football club without a training ground. If there are issues, you need to pay rent somewhere else in the meantime. Yeah. I don't know. But Rob Scott's talked about it, mate. Liam Richardson. I suspect Liam Richardson didn't know the full issues of the training ground. Obviously, you see some of it, but obviously the pitches are another issue as well. So this is something that's really had to deal with a bit more than he was anticipating. And this is the kind of thing that sets you back. I know. Feels like we are half overachieved based on what's been sort of kind of behind the scenes training pitch wise. But this needs to be kind of first thing in the summer that gets something. So whether it's at Roundwood, whether you need to acquire another site or whatever else, or like John says, rent somewhere, we need to be stepping this up. We need to be becoming a New York Stadium is beautiful. It's wonderful. It looks fantastic, but you've got to have a bit of substance behind that as well. Otherwise, you're going to end up tumbling.
Yeah, maybe Rob Scott's got time for a third job. Maybe he can be groundsman or something. He's not. This way, he's not doing much on other tours.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the problem with it is giving that a priority in the close season. The money's still got to come from somewhere, you know. So it's the only place that money is going to come from is out of Tony Stewart's pocket, and we're asking him also to buy some more players. You know, put some safe standing in. Whatever else everybody's asking for, you know, all right, we spend £1 million, £2 million on a training facility. That's no players coming in, and everybody knows about that then. So it's not quite as simple as what we need to do is this X, Y, and Z. Buy some more land, build a new training facility. Brilliant, great idea. Who's paying for it? You know, and that's the position we find ourselves in as a club. And probably the bulk of other football clubs as well. The difference being that most of them have already got in place somewhere to train, somewhere suitable to train. We haven't. And maybe that's a mistake. Well, arguably, it's a mistake that's been made over the past 12 years since we came back from Don Valley. But, you know, 99 times out of 100, the facility at Ramwood's been all right. But occasionally it's not, and this is one of those times, a crucial time. I was going to say a crucial time of the season. It's not necessarily crucial anymore, is it? But you know, it's still got to cost money.
John Morrell says ownership has got to make these are duties of football club owners when it comes to standard facilities. Yeah,
I know, and I agree. I do agree with that. But it's not a bottomless pit. It's not a bottomless pit of money. And or you're expecting the football club to go into debt. That debt's got to be secured on something. It's only the only thing it's going to be secured on is Tony Stewart and his wealth. It's not going to be secured on the club itself. So you're then asking an owner to throw good money after bad, if you like, because he's never going to get it back. The reality of it is, whoever invests in inverted commas in our club to give us a new training facility and new players and everything else, they ain't going to get the money back. They're not.
I think on the training facility it might be different though, because if he does buy a plot of land and builds this state-of-the-art training facility, that is an investment in the infrastructure, and when he does finally sell it or whatever happens, surely that would add value to the club. The players, I get, you know, they devalue all the time, but You know, and obviously then you look at hopefully having that kind of facility and developing as kids and as youth squads better would then bring on bigger sellers in the future. So he's just got to make that. For me, he's got to make that investment if he wants to speculate to more.
It's also a rentable site. If you're at this wonderful place, you can rent out to local communities or whatever clubs that we're playing Sheffield Wednesday or United or whatever in the area. Yeah. You can make money off it that way as well.
Yeah. Well, we're now selling baby girls from the Ben Bennett stand, so you never know. I might help fund it.
Yeah, it's difficult, Lewis, because money. It's just a difficult situation. We shouldn't be in this situation, but we are. So we've got to deal. Club's got to deal with it as it is. It just feels like we shouldn't be here.
Yeah, it just comes across as like an issue we've neglected for years, and like Stuart or whoever's around him thought, we can put this off and it'll be fine. And it's finally caught up on us in a very bad way this season. Like I say, you've got to find money from some. I know it's hard asking Tony to do it because it's his money at the end of the day. It's up to him if he wants to spend it. But there comes the issue of investors coming in. I know there's been past interest as well. I don't know how significant it was or whatever. And then it's that player sales. It's one thing we've struggled of for years now, not doing it, thinking back to Bene and Crooks and a few others as well. It just helps being a more sustainable club that we've got the backing to do with investments like this and not be messed up through it as well.
Yeah. So. A few people in the comments mentioned the Victor money. So if you sell Victor in the summer, you can use that whatever money you get towards that. Then the whole point of this, what we're trying to do as a football club, or what we seem to try and do, is buy low, sell high for your players, so you can then invest in younger players to then make them. That's the cycle we're trying to go. If we have to spend £5 million on let's say £5 million on a training facility, you then not got another saleable asset in terms of the players to try and get the next Victor, the next Doug Bennett, the next thing. It might be what we have to do, but it's really not what you should be doing.
No.
But we are where we are. Kev, you've already sort of answered, but the season. So for you, the season where we are now, it's done. What are you looking for? But now end of May, we all agree we're done. I think. What do you want to see between now and May from on the pitch?
I personally, I'd like to have seen some kids play, but I don't think we've got any on bench. And like I've talked to someone at Gym earlier, and I don't understand why we've sent McGuckin out on loan to Dundalk or something. Like,
yes, yeah.
The one position we're struggling is centre forward, and it sounds really awful. But of all the forwards we've got, apart from Nombe, take him out of the equation, I think he's been unfairly thingy. But you've got your Eves and Hugo and other players. I'd personally like to see McGuckin. I'd even like to see Georgie Kelly have got a game rather than being sold. If he weren't in his plans for Championship, which he weren't ready for Championship, but he's certainly ready for League One. So let him go on loan to Carlisle if he wants to, and then get him in League One next season. So I think from what I'd like to see is give some of the fringe players a chance. Hopefully Ferguson gets some game time, but it's tough. There's that many players out of contract. It's like, what do you do? The season's over. We're going down anyway. I don't know. I don't know how many players are going to be left in contract in the summer, but it's really bad. It's really bad. Like, you like to Rathbone and all them. I think they will be getting him. He's too good for it. Even though he's had a shocker of a second part of the season and whatnot, he's not been a shadow himself. He's still good for League One. Cameron Humphreys is back from injury. He's now got 14 games left to show everyone what he can do. He's too good for League One. So it sounds daft, but does Liam Richardson keep playing Cameron Humphreys? It sounds daft. I won't even play him. I'd have him on bench. Just get fitter and fitter, and that shows what he can do, and make him be a star of League One. But it's going to be a massive summer, massive rebuild. And this training facility, that's not instant. That's years down the line. So again, we've got to try and attract good League One players or lower in Championship to come to our club and get us back up. And next year will not be like a Paul Warne yo-yo back up. It's going to be very different. Very different.
Yeah, I agree. So it says, let's just see some fight and passion. Sam Darby, we need to beat the 23 points. That's how bad of a season it's been. Yeah, we're 4 points away from the record of the Championship. total. Let's move back to yesterday, Mick. Shelley says, and this was a strange one. Why did Rinamota move to right wing back when Siriki was on the bench? No confidence, obviously, been crying out for wingers. Finally gets one, and he plays in left wing back. Yeah, this was a baffling moment. It was making a lot of substitutions, which was great, and then he ended up putting when we essentially had a sub to spare, he put Rinamota as right wing back, and then realised that didn't work, so he put Ollie at right wing back. When there's a right wing back sat on bench, we was going to bring on the first half when Kyoso was basically going to be injured. That was bad. That was baffling to me.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit strange, a lot strange. I'm sure there must be some method to his madness, but I can't see what it was. I don't know whether he just felt that Rinamota got more attacking intent, perhaps, and he gave him the option to drop into a back four instead of a back five. I don't know. I've no idea. I can't answer that. I just don't know. It's bizarre, wasn't it? Really strange. It seems to be, it seems to be a story of the last 2 seasons where we're constantly trying to put square pegs in round holes when we've got the round pegs on bench, and I don't really understand it. It's something that Matt Taylor did as well, and yeah, no clue on that one.
Well, Warney playing Ben Wiles at left wing back.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Ben spent a virtually full season at left wing back, didn't he? Or, well, I think he played in every position apart from goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Apart from goalkeeper and his actual natural position. Apart from that, I think he covered them all, didn't
he?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Liam Richardson, Lewis. As you'd expect, we lost some games, so he's going to come under the microscope a little bit. How do you feel about Liam Richardson so far? It's difficult to judge because they aren't his players, and I don't think he had as good a January as he would have wanted. Yeah. Where do you feel we are with Liam Richardson at the moment?
It's hard to judge him at the moment because you can tell he's frustrated because I don't think he realised how much of a job he had on with everything that's going off, not just on the pitch but behind the scenes as well. The style of play is not enthusiastic as at the moment either. Yeah. I know we're losing every week, aren't we? But you sometimes you think let's just have a go, but then he's probably thinking if we do that we'll lose 5-0 every week. So it's a bit of like give and take. I think he's thinking. So we've definitely defensively we've improved since he's come in, but that's taken away our attacking threat, which is just non-existent. Yeah, it's in a tough position because he's got no credit in the bank, unlike other managers. Even Taylor had a little bit with keeping us up last season, and I feel like if we have a bad start to next season, the fans will turn him straight away, which unfairly or fairly, it's just how it goes.
Somebody right says, so if we lose on Tuesday, which is highly probable, Liam Richardson will have the same record as Alan Stubbs, played 13-1-1, drawn 3. For me, Kev, that's not that's not the comparison. The comparison is essentially the Paul Warne's first season, where he was caretaker and then took over.
Yeah.
And I mean, Paul won 17, 18 games without a win during that time, and nobody really got on Warney's back. I know Lewis made credit in the bank. Warney obviously had credit in the bank. But that's for me. That's where you compare it. Are the building blocks getting in place for next season? Can you see what Liam Richardson's trying to do for the following season?
Yeah, I've just said a comment on there about Liam Richardson being brought in for League One. I do think that was part of the plan. I think when they did bring him in, we expected to get relegated.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced he's even going to be here. I think he's sounding more and more dejected on his interviews and starting to start the old blame game now, talking about the training facilities and all that. I wouldn't be surprised if he just thought, this is not for me. It's too... maybe he's seeing things in the background, what we don't. Obviously, I would say like to see it on training pitch, but we haven't got one. But it's difficult. I feel sorry for him. I think he's getting a bit of unfair stick. You're right. It's the season when Warne took over and 18, 19 games without a win or whatever it were. He didn't even want the job, etc. and all that. But he has inherited. Maybe the frustrating thing is inherited on paper. I said at the beginning of the season, it's a very, very good squad on paper. Some talented individuals. As a group, as a collective, it's a shocking football team. And he's got to somehow try and get the best out of what he's been given. And it's tough, and he's not succeeding. It's certainly too soon to be talking about pulling the plug on him or anything like that. Because I do think he deserves a chance of his own team. And we've always saying it's a massive summer, no bigger than for Liam Richardson, because he's literally going to get virtually a blank canvas. Apart from 4 or 5 players, he's going to get a blank canvas. So there you go. As long as the man upstairs gives him the right budgets to build that team, but we'll see.
Yeah. Matt Bill says, let's face it, the season has been a bonus as would have relegated last season without Victor. Goodness knows how many points we would have currently had without Victor. So, yeah, good point. Good point. Stuart Tomlinson thinks he will walk in the summer or a split will potentially be engineered. It was a bit spiky in the post-match yesterday, Mick. There were boos yesterday. I don't think there weren't masses of boos, but he got posed the question by Andy Giddens by Radio Sheffield, and it was spiky, is the phrase I'd use. I don't mind it, but when... Yeah, go on.
I've not listened to the interview, so I can only go on what you've just told me there. I don't blame him. I'd be spiky and all, because he's putting his everything he's got into this job because it's his job, and that's what he will be doing because he's a professional. He's living it day in, day out, more than any of us so-called supporters. It's his job, and he's living it day in, day out, and it's not going well. He knows it's not going well. Obviously, we can all see that it's not going well. So when he's criticised by people like us, I include myself in it, who don't know what they're talking about, because I don't. None of us do. None of us are involved in this on a day-to-day basis. So if he's been criticised by people and booed and everything else, he's going to be spiky. I would be. I'd be a lot more spiky, I'll tell you. It won't be on radio. It won't be on radio, I'll tell you that right now. I don't blame him. I don't blame him for being spiky, and I'm glad he is, because it shows a little bit of passion, and it shows he's got some fight and desire to do the right thing and do the job properly. So I'm not one of these. I can't be doing with this, he's not bouncing about on touchline and all this, he's a bit dour and all that. I'm going to read you something. I'm going to read you a tweet today from part of a tweet from today from a Rotherham United supporter. I won't name who it is. It might have just been written in a bit of a fit of pique. I'm just going to take an extract from it. I'd welcome Evans back. Fine, whatever. This particular sentence just sums up football supporters for me. Regardless of his management skill or history, it would be nice to have an exciting manager.
Okay.
I mean, what the hell? Regardless of his skill, don't matter, does it? Of course it does, and that's exactly the point, and that's where the likes of Liam Richardson and probably Matt Taylor to a degree, get so annoyed or spiky or however you want to describe it about some of the criticism that is levelled in their direction. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Let him get on with his job and give him some time to do his job. That's my view anyway. Don't blame him. Good man. Let's see.
You said you won't read that tweet out, Mick. I sent you that in private.
I said I weren't going to name where it were, Kevin. You've just... Just for the record, it's not Kev's tweet.
I know. Just for the record, I would have Steve Evans back, but...
Yeah. What, regardless of his skill as a manager?
Well, just for stories.
Yeah.
Mike says, don't see him as a manager that would walk. He's had it tougher. He did have it tougher at Wigan, to be fair, and did his best.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We're in a better position behind the scenes than Wigan were, certainly financially. Are you the same boat, Lewis? Sorry. Liam then. He's trying to, he comes out before the games, he claps the fans. He's trying to, I feel like he's trying to connect. It's not Alan Stubbs, who was just a dour man who had no interest in terms of connection. I feel like he is trying to do something. I don't think he likes the media stuff. I think that's all that is. I feel like he is trying to create something with the fans, even if it's not working quite yet.
Yeah, at least that with Stubbs, he just hid, didn't he? And he just didn't accept the criticism very well. But at least Liam's is at least trying to do something about it to build some rapport with fans, which is it's just out of his hands at the moment because there's no way it's going to improve at this point of the season. And that, like I said there with Wigan thing, that was a lot worse situation than we're in, and he stuck it out. And I thought I saw someone else saying in the comments that where does he go after if he does leave? And Jack's saying, where does he go after here?
Yeah.
He's only going to bottom League 1, League 2. So he's not. I won't say it's quite a no lose situation, but it's a big win situation. If he can somehow get it right next season, his reputation's been increased massively, and he'll be thinking that he's quite confident in his abilities, and he'll be backing himself to do that. And we'll just have to wait and see if he can next season.
100%. Yeah, if he bounces us straight back somehow, then yeah, you're right. His stock will shoot massively, won't it? Anything else about the? Would we play Watford? That's a forgetful game, was it? I forgot what we played. Anything else for the Watford game before we move on to it? We have a brief review.
Yeah, their striker was awful.
Oh yeah.
At number 9.
Rajovic.
I know you meant the Watford man messaged said it in the scout report, didn't it? I thought he scored a few goals this year. Must be all right. Yeah, awful. So I saw someone tweeted it. It's like watching Tom Eaves play against us in previous games. I can't remember who said it.
It's not that
bad. But yeah, we're awful. Made me feel a bit better about our situation.
Yeah, it did. It makes you feel better until you realise that we lost to them.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah. Let's move forward. Ipswich Town, promotion chasing. I think they can just. Oh, go on, Mick. Sorry.
I noticed you didn't come to me on penalty decisions. You didn't ask my opinion, did you?
Well, we've got time. Go on.
We've got 20 minutes free.
I'm not interested. It's pointless now. So I just thought I'd just point it out. That's all.
2 Stonewallers.
100%, yeah.
100%. But I don't remember this is the referee that didn't give the Stonewall penalty to Middlesbrough on Boxing Day when Hacks cleaned out their strike. So it's the same guy. So for the first time, it's actually evened itself out.
Yeah.
You know, it never does. But for the first, it's the wrong way around. But it's evened itself out, Mick. There you go.
Well, no, because that means that's 1 for 1, not 2 for 1.
All right.
No.
Anyway,
if it's going to even itself out, that's great because we're going to have 2 or 3 penalties a game for the rest of the season to catch up with the likes of Leicester, aren't we? So
I'll give you a little bet that we get our first penalty this season when we're already relegated.
I don't think we'll get one.
I don't
will.
I don't think we'll get one.
And we'll probably miss it anyway.
Well, yeah, we did. In that season, we got relegated under Warney. We didn't get a penalty all season until last home game, and then Danny Ward missed it. So we've done it before. The Rotherham United way. Harry says, so we can all get on with our lives. Let me preview the game for us. We've lost. Thank you, Harry. Very good.
We'll just copy and paste that every week.
Yeah, exactly. What is there to say, Kev? I suppose we saw Ipswich early in the season when it was Matt Taylor's last home game, the 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
It was a good game. We earned the point. It's going to be a different kettle of fish down at their backyard, I would suspect, though.
Yeah, definitely. And they're a team they've been growing for a few years now. Obviously, they're great history and all that, but over the last probably 4 or 5 years, they've just done things right. And they've not spent loads of money. Don't get me wrong, they've spent a bit of money. Not spent mass. I think the record sign is 4 million or something, which it's a lot. But they've done things right. They've built a good squad of players who are all, and obviously I can't remember the manager's name now. The guy from Man United,
Kieran McKenna.
Yeah, he's clearly got something special. He's gonna manage at top level definitely. So again, they've got him in at the right time. They've invested in him, allowed him to bring his own players in, play the style of football he thinks can get you promoted from the Championship and League One, obviously before, and it's working. They're dangerous. So I mean, look at the players like your George. There's no real stars. You look down their team sheet. None of them really stand out as like, wow, they're top quality. But they're all just good, steady players. And I mean, anyone who can get a tune out of George Hurst deserves honouring anyway. So no, I think we're in for a tough ride. It could be another. If they get an early goal, it could be a battering. And I tell you what, if any fans listening and are going, hats off. You deserve a medal.
100%.
I won't open my curtains if you're on in my backyard. I'll be honest with
you. Yeah. I mean, this January, they've not spent massively, but John Morales, they're paying a lot of Moore's wages, and that's that's the gamble they're now going to take. They brought in Keith Moore. They brought in that young lad from Wimbledon for a little bit of money as well.
Yeah,
but they'd be stupid not to at this point in the game. The 3 points off promotion as it is. It's a calculated gamble to pay Keith Moore. There's not many better strikers in the championship than Keith Moore. So if you're going to bring somebody in, that's brilliant. I think he's going to be an absolute thorn in our side Tuesday. If you keep him quiet, you'll probably be close to getting a result out of that game.
Yeah, and to be fair, if there's anybody that's going to keep him quiet, probably Sean Morrison, because they're both as experienced as each other. You know, Sean Morrison's been there, seen it, done it with players like Keith Moore. Whether he'll keep him quiet is another matter. I would doubt that very much. But the irony of all this is that, you know, we'll go there on Tuesday night and sneak a 1-0 scrappy win. It'd be ridiculous, wouldn't it? But I mean, at least you'd be happy because your beard had come off. So
for a shave, yeah.
It feels at the moment like it's just sort of going through emotions, doesn't it? Certainly going there. It just feels. We might as well not bother. It's how it feels, and you know it's a horrible and a ridiculous thing to say. But we I don't know. 2-1 Rotherham.
I didn't ask you for a prediction, but all right. Yeah,
I might even change it when it comes to predictions. I might have a think about that.
All right, okay. He won't. He's going to pick 2-1. Yeah. Do you give us any chance, Lewis? Is it just a puncher's chance, or is it just anything?
I think if we were to get anything, it would have to be like a game like Stoke last season. But it's just Victor's had an absolute game with his life, and we somehow get a deflected goal or an own goal or something that like Rathbone's cross that somehow goes in, something stupid like that. It does to add to our difficulties. They're pairing at the right time again, aren't they? They've had the dip, and I think they've won like 3 games in a row now, something. So that's another thing for us. We tend to play against teams at the wrong time as well. You see, when a manager's been sacked or when they're just in good form, then Ipswich are in good form. They were, like Kev said, they haven't got many, if any, superstars. It just shows how good of a coach McKenna is that he's maximising all their abilities for the most of anyway to get them in position where they are. It'll be a tough game, really. Yeah.
The annoying thing is, Matt. So the way they play, the best way to play against Ipswich, which has been proven this season, even by a non-league team, is to attack them. Is to actually have a go at them. When Maidstone, who played in Cup and on telly, they made them look average. They got into the face and attacked them. It sounds awful, but we ain't got that about us in our team. So it's going to be one way.
Absolutely right. Yeah, you're right. John says same games that struggle this season. Teams attack them, sit back, and they'll pay you a new one. Can you see us doing anything other than sitting back, Kev? Because I can't. It's going to be a sit back and hope for best. That's what I think.
Yeah, we ain't got quality. Liam Richardson knows he can't go into that changing room and look at his players and think, right, he can do this, he can do that. Yeah. We ain't got it there, so no, I don't think he can play that. And if he does, it's suicidal. So I think the only thing he can do is try and soak it up and try and counter with non-strikers and hope for the best.
Yeah. To shine a little ray of positivity, Mick, Leeds aside, we've been all right away from home under Liam Richardson. The Middlesbrough game, we were unlucky not to win. Blackburn game, certainly unlucky not to win. Plymouth, if Ayala don't get sent off, we get something out of that game. We're better at the minute. We're better away from home, but we haven't. But it's Ipswich who are a much better team than Middlesbrough and Blackburn and Plymouth.
They are, if you allow them to be, aren't they? Like John's just said there. Any team, I suppose, in this division, if you allow them to be, they will tell you a new one. Yep. Some more than others. But we have been better away from home, yeah. We have. We've been more organised. We've been solid. And probably, arguably, we've probably played the same way away from home as we have at home. Unfortunately, we expect, quite rightly so, when we're at home, to actually have a pop at teams and look to win the game. And we've not been doing that away from home. And we've been all right because we've been able to soak it up for a lot of the time and hit teams on the break like we did, with Blackburn and at Middlesbrough as well. So So yeah, away from home, we've not been that bad at all. We've got some decent results, and then we've been able at home to go to actually put the ball forward, play the ball forward, and create and put the ball in the box. And we might not be in this position now, but unfortunately, we've just sort of we played the same way, home and away, and that's not the way you can't do it, can you? You can't do that. So,
no.
We may well keep them at bay. We probably won't, but we may do.
You never know.
You never know, do you?
We do.
It's a funny old game.
The only real question, no, it's not the only real question, but what do you think we'll see going up front, Lewis? Because started Nombe and White twice in 2 games up front. He has played Hugill away from home. You look at the Leeds game, Middlesbrough game, it was Hugill up top. Didn't work against Leeds, but it did work against Borough. I want Nombe to start again no matter what, but I think he'll go back to Hugill.
Yeah, I want it to be Nombe as well. I'd even say White, but he looked knackered on Saturday, so I can't see him playing again on Tuesday. So it'll be Hugill, but I obviously don't want it to be because I've always played all season and parts of last season as well. He just don't look bothered at all. And that White were knackered on Saturday, but at least he stayed on his feet for one.
Hugill were terrible when he came on. He were really bad.
I don't think he won one, had they? And then they were just doing his usual thing of going down every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like I said, White were knackered, but at least he tried a little bit to put him centre about. It's not so much avail, but he did something. But yeah, I'd start Nombe, but I can't see him doing it.
No. John Merrill says they play out from the back. Has to be a front line for the press.
Yeah.
No, could you see Nombe up top on his own? Because we're against Ipswich, he might like to pack the midfield out, put extra body in there. But Nombe doesn't give you that physicality. That's the problem with Nombe, isn't it, against these?
Yeah.
Sorry, Kev, that was you.
Oh,
sorry,
it's
I
me.
realised I didn't say your name. Sorry, mate.
I agree with Lewis. Nombe looked knackered on Tuesday, let alone Saturday. So if he played all game Saturday, I don't know. John's right. That is, we've got to play a press, but again, it goes back to the players he's got to choose from. I don't think they're not ready for that press. Even Rathbone used to be our little rat in midfield who press and press and press, and he don't look like that. He's probably just thinks, why should I do it if they're not doing it? So I don't know. It's a tough one. I think he'll play Hugill purely for we're going to play it long. We're going to get the ball in defence and we're going to hit it long. Hope that he wins one of his free kicks and one of his stooping headers. But it's going to be a tough game, and there's no right to it. That we all know how he should go there and play, but we've not got the armour to do it. We don't have the squad to do it. So yeah, just try and get out of it with some credibility and no injuries. That's all I'll be going for.
Yeah, let's not make it silly. Got QPR on Saturday, which is where there is a possibility. There's something. Nicola Juice says on Hugill. Says hope he doesn't start Hugill. So frustrating when he's on the floor all the time. He would be Gareth Ainsworth's star player. I don't think Ian Gareth ideas, when he gets back into the game. Although, give Ainsworth ideas. So when he comes back into the game, he can sign it then, can't he? There we go. Well done, Nicola. Well done. Good stuff. Email Gareth directly.
He's got a good job, has he? Has he got a job?
Not yet. I'm sure somebody will hire him at some point, probably.
I reckon Stoke. He's going to Stoke, I reckon.
I've seen that. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nickel Joel says that White was better, didn't give up. Yeah, I agree. Let's do some predictions then. Mick, are you going for 2-1? Mike's had a shout at your comments here for going 2-1. Says, Mick, come on, stop this predicting us winning when we're blinding Levis. We're not going to. Enough looking through those rose-tinted specs for one season. No,
Mike, I'm not going to do it. And I don't think you'd expect anything less from me. Not to agree with you on that point. I'm going 1-0 Rotherham.
You're changing.
I'm changing.
Wow,
that's where I'm going to go.
Fair enough. All right. I don't know.
I don't mean it. You do know that, don't you? I don't actually think that that's going to happen.
We gave Danny some praise last week because he got the whole prediction correct. It's time. I got the Watford prediction correct, so I've got the 3 points on the board.
Pat yourself on the head.
Well, if Danny gets some credit, I'm going to get someone always. Might as well get some out of this podcast, haven't we? You know what I mean? Kev, what do we reckon? How many Ipswich going to get?
I've just checked, and Rotherham are actually 12-1 to win. So if you put a tenner on, you win nothing. So I am going to I'm going to go concert. I'm going to go through. There's a lot saying same thing. 3-0 Ipswich, and I'll take that now.
I go 2-0 Ipswich because that's more hope. I think it could get really ugly, especially if they go early. I think it could be really bad. Lewis,
I'll go 1-1.
Oh,
why not?
Nice.
Again, I don't mean it, but I'm throwing it out there and hoping someone listens to me and makes it happen.
Fair enough.
Stick with me, Lewis. Stick with me, mate. You'll be fine.
Nathan Crabtree going for a boring 0-0, which we'd all take, but I don't think it'll happen. Harry says 4-0 to Ipswich. Nick says 3-0. Alfie says 6-0. I assume is to Ipswich. Kim says 1-1. Says you, Lewis. Palmer says 5-0 to Ipswich. Holly's going 3-2 to Rotherham. She's saying the hat trick. Love it, Holly.
3 goals in the game. No chance.
Nicola Jew says 0-1 is the hope that kills you. Martin Holland 2-0 to them. Ryan Thompson says it's going to be 4-0, but we're going to 3-0 down inside 25 minutes. Sarah Ogden 3-0 to Ipswich. John says 3-0 to Ipswich. Steve Gunner says 2-0 to Ipswich. Miles Quiet says 3-0 to Ipswich. Mike the Miller says us 0, others quite a few. Fair enough, Mike. Yeah. Kevin's right. If anybody is going down there, you deserve a medal, a pat up back, and a beer, or whatever you want. That is some serious commitment to go down there on a Tuesday night. Well done, I suppose is the word. Anything else, lads, that we need to mention on this show? Kev, Legends Night. Do you want to get that a mention?
I think we've pretty much got a date now. We were struggling with when will the right, because the one we did last one was 30th of June. I think the close date would have been the 28th, but the New York State were fully booked. So the only date we could get was the 21st of June. Lining up some good legends already. We've had some good early chats. A few names we've got chucking out. Daniel Nardiello's pretty much confirmed. Yeah. So that'd be a good one, yeah. You just got to sort his babysitter out. That's right. So yeah, working on that now. So over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get some more details out and probably start selling tickets.
Perfect. Mick, Lewis, anything else you want to mention?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. Great. As always, the homework is find something funny on Tuesday. If you watch the game, find something funny and happy and report to us Thursday what it was, just so we give ourselves something to smile about this season, because it's a long old 16 games left. We've got to find something to smile about. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who has been with us. If you're watching on iTunes, YouTube, X, and Facebook, make sure you've followed and liked and subscribed on YouTube as well. If you haven't done already, give the show a like. If you're on iTunes and Spotify, make sure you've liked, followed us or subscribed us and give it a 5-star rating. The Scouting Report, which is from Roscoe from Kings of Anglia, that will be up tomorrow. That's recorded and will be out tomorrow, Monday time. So keep a check on that if you want to listen about Ipswich season so far and what to expect from them. That'll be out, like I say, out tomorrow. And we will be back on Thursday evening for the review of Ipswich. And we'll look ahead to QPR away, another away game. Hopefully we can break that duck. Mick, thank you for being with us tonight, Mick. It's been rantless. Very good.
You're very, very, very welcome. I can't tell you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Lewis, appreciate it. A pleasure having you back, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries at all. It's been brilliant.
And Kev, as always, mate, appreciate you coming on.
No problem. Anytime, mate.
Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. And up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
Slides into Wales through a goal, slots it beyond Foderingham, and the Millers are in front in the South Yorkshire derby. And for the first time in 42 years, Rotherham United win at Bramall Lane. On the edge of the box for Duffy, he can hit them, and he does. The Dolphin has scored an absolute screamer for Rotherham United. Rotherham United have secured their championship status for next season.
Do me a favor, drop me off in